Thanks for the time given to me. The impacts of coronavirus for Regina Pacis Senior High School. Abstract on of the social on of the social problems faced by the Indonesian nation at this time is COVID-19, or better known as the coronavirus, is an infectious disease that causes mild respiratory infection such as the flu. COVID-19 or corona. Until now it has not been lost in people life. Instead, the edition of corona is currently increasing. This impact is very inflation on people life, especially in the field of education, making the world of education currently not doing face-to-face learning in school and making students learn from home to prevent transmission. With the introduction from the government to carry our learning from home. It makes students difficult in the learning process because there are several factors that causes difficulties in learning, such as the student does not have a handphone, does not understand the material provided by the teacher through the application. Internet access is not smooth when learning takes place online in the quick internet pulsa, and not least import factor. Namely, there is not invitation to learn from student home who think online learning is just fun, and this makes students not understand the material provided by the teacher online. But for school at Regina Pacis Senior High School, Bajawa, teacher teacher treat to profit teacher treat to profit material and online exams properly, so that all students at Regina Pacis Senior High School can understand them. Keywords impacts: virus, corona, COVID-19, students, subject, education, country, and teacher. Chapter 1, Introduction. A. Background. The end of 2019, the world was shaken by the emergency of a mysterious virus known as COVID-19 or corona. The beginning of the emergency of this virus was found in the China city of Wuhan at the end of December 2019. This virus spread so quickly and had spread to almost all countries in the world, including our own country, Indonesia, which still exists today. The process of spreading the coronavirus makes all Indonesian people find it difficult to carry out their daily activity, and interaction with each other becomes very difficult, especially in the world of education. The world of education. The government has made a dedication to carry out an activity and learning from home, and students do online learning through the Google Classroom and Edmodo application. Yeah, this info this include in classes what happened to students at Regina Pacis Senior High School. Online learning carried out at Regina Pacis Bajawa High School made student not focus on reflected learning, especially or material related to oil class, but teacher at Regina Pacis Bajawa High School. Regina Pacis Bajawa High School teacher are willing to sacrifice to profit good learning, so that it can be understood by all students. So the authors conducts research on the impacts of COVID-19 or Regina Pacis Bajawa High School students. B. Problem formulation. Number 1. What is the meaning of COVID-19? Number 2. How is the impact of corona on students who are in Regina Pacis Senior High School? Number 3. What is good solution to do if 3 are students who do not understand online learning materials? C. Destination. Number 1. To understand the meaning of COVID-19. Number 2. To be able to find out the impacts of coronavirus on Regina Pacis High School student. Number 3. To find out the last solution for readers if 3 are students who do not understand the material in the online learning process. D. Benefits of breathing. Number 1. In order to know the meaning of COVID-19 and its impacts on Regina Pacis High School student and solution. Number 2. For the requirements for a class upgrade. Breathing system. Number 1. Abstract. Describe or make it easier for readers to quickly understand the contents of a sciencely paper. Number 2. Chapter 1. Introduction. Describe the background of the problem formulation of the problem and the objectives and benefits of the topic to be studied. Number 3. Chapter 2. Describe the theoretical basis and concepts of this theoretical basis contains theoretical and theories and research results. For chapter 3. The 3 chapter in this paper will present the wording method asset, but in relation to data collection, the cases to data analysis the causes. 5. Fourth chapter. Chapter 4 is the final section which contains the sections that reveal consolation and suggestion and suggestions. Chapter 2. Theoretical framework coronavirus. Theoretical framework. Coronavirus is a virus that acts through the respiratory system. This is due to this virus infection is called the COVID-19 coronavirus, which can cause dis- disruption in the respiratory system, severe lung infection, resulting in death. This virus can attack anyone, such as elderly adults, children, babies, including pregnant women and breastfeeding mothers. This virus is spreading very quickly and has spread to all corners of the world, including Indonesia. This virus has entered Indonesia. The government has made a policy by implementing the lockdown system and PSBB in order to break the kind spread of COVID-19 by making this policy make people unable to carry out activity. For example, such as students around the world, including Indonesia, in March 2020, the Indonesian government has issued a policy for students throughout Indonesia to do learning from home is only 2 weeks, only 2 weeks, but until now learning it is still from home, which makes Indonesian students not take part in learning well because they do not understand the material profit by the teach through learning learning application such as Google Classroom and Edmodo cases. As above, this is what in experience by some student at Regina Pacis Senior High School, because many students do not have handphone and inadequate networks and invocation internet credit, but teacher at Regina Pacis by Jawa High School are always encouraged profit motivation to student. So they are anti-nation is dealing with this virus and can do online learning well. The following is a explanation of the coronavirus according to according to experts. Number one, according to aerosol expert at Virginia Lindsay Marks, that said, the coronavirus is not clearly known as it spread the virus through small droplets comparing to large droplets. To research, when a person is sits coughing or sneezing. Number two, According to Dr. Andreas Romero, they said the coronavirus is a virus that is very similar to a cold and included species virus, the attachment to severe breathing. Chapter 3 Discussion. Okay, number 1. Definition of Definition of COVID-19 coronavirus is a virus that attacks the respiratory system. This is because this viral virus infection is called COVID-19. In many cases, this virus only causes mild respiratory infections such as flu, but in the virus can also cause severe respiratory infections such as lung infection. Okay, number 2, the impacts of corona on Regina Pacis Senior High School students. The impact is that the impacts the impacts the impact is the student do not understand the material profit by the teacher through Google Classroom and Edmodo, especially subject really related to rooted class because they do not understand the material. Students do questions at random. The character education instilled in the school seems to be a little neglected. Another impact is that students miss the teacher because the teacher always will give will give affirmation to his student at Regina Pacis Senior High School by that the exemplary for their teacher is seen and taught directly by the teacher. Okay, students are the main key to character education in this educational institution. Okay. Three solution if three are students who do not understand the material. Okay. Solution. Okay. Solution number 1. Stay focused. What often happens when students do online learning is that they do not focus while learning of their handphone. There are lots of temptation, temptation, temptation that imparts with the learning process. Watching video, playing TikTok games, or other social media. Solution number 2. Communication with teacher and classmates. Okay, if you have difficult learning on your own, you can ask the teacher about learning not being understood. You can ask WhatsApp or Zoom. You can also ask classmates who already understand the material in questions. Solution number 3. Assess learning application. Okay, learning with several application will enable students to understand the material and add instinct in the thinking to be more critical. Okay, critical. Chapter 4. Consolidates. A. Consultation. Based on the existing statements, it can be concluded Cadet, the secondly article annotated the impacts of the coronavirus on student. Regina Pacis Bajawa High School has the consolation that the coronavirus is a deadly virus that attacks the respiratory system. Okay, this is very inflation in the world of education in terms of face learning the dictionaries by replacing online learning. With online learning, students throughout Indonesia do not understand the material profit by the teacher as will ask what is the field at Regina Pacis Senior High School. But the teacher at Regina always try to give the best to their student so that they can learn online comfortable. B. Suggestions. Based on what has been explained above, Indonesian must immediately evacuate and all the joint lines of light and the world of education because during this mass coefficients period the world of education also needs facilities profit by the stats such as learning credit for student. Learning credit is given but does not a cost learning. Okay, applications such as Edmodo, so it uses to give student credit, but learning credit only play plays WhatsApp. Referensi Trip.com www.dokter.com www.hala.com www.bbc.com IDM Wikipedia Priangan News.com www.indonesian.com and mliputan6.com. Okay, thank you very much.